What's that broken thing in your house that everybody just accepts and lives with?
It's gonna be me.
So could this thing be dead literally after 4 months? Has there ever been a car that hit the market and in 4 months had this many problems, this much controversy, this much flat out embarrassment, and then got discontinued? I don't know. I mean, in my lifetime, I don't remember this happening. This is pretty quick. And if what I'm learning, what I learned recently is true, it appears that the RT Daytona could be gone, dead, history. All right, so in my private group with Butter and TK, we're going back and forth, and Butter's sharing some images and some insight, and the more we dig through this, I even did a video on the order banks opening for the dealers to get the new six-pack, actually now it's called the Outlaw, and the new GT. But in those order banks, there were options given to order just the Daytona Scat Pack EV and not an RT. Let me show you. And when I was sharing this with you all, it didn't occur to me at the time that the RT's not there. I guess I may have mentioned it, but in my mind, it wasn't like because it's gone. I just figured maybe you need to scroll a little more. But in talking to Butter and others, it's looking like that RT could be just gone. And looking at this is the 2026 model year options for the dealers to put in orders. Now, it could just be that they don't want anyone ordering any RTs until those current RTs are exhausted, or if the news stories are right, in the video I did just a few weeks ago on these things going to order only in 2026, then that would stand to reason. But here's the deal. The belief when I did that last video was the RTs and the Scat Packs in the EV Daytonas would go to order only in 2026 due to large standing inventory and tariff concerns, etc. So now, though, it appears that even the RT is not even in the order banks to be ordered, meaning it's gone. But then there's additional supporting information, a slightly blurry image that I got shared with me from Butter the Insider that shows the basic model timeline, and it's kind of blurry, but if you look at this, it shows 2024 model year, the RT, 2025 model year, the RT, 2026 model year, no RT, just, and this says 2-door, and this says 4-door, and it's blurry. Don't worry, it's not your screen. And all they're offering at this point is the Scat Pack with a 670 horsepower 2-door or 4-door. That's it. And no option for an RT at all in this document. So then let's go over to another document that was shared with me by Butter. The available options for the 26 model year, it just shows the Scat Pack. And it shows the track package. And yeah, this is a little blurry too. Track pack no longer forced on. Model year 2026 reducing base price. There's a concept. There's something smart. Why not do that versus bring it out at $75,000 and then dump it to $50,000? Just embarrassing. No plus group with base. Mechanical, 2-door, 4-door. Standard, though, it's going to come out with 670 horsepower. Now, remember, the original rollout was a lower horsepower version after the stage kits are no longer available, which were only supposed to be on the first launch 2024 models. But because 2024s came out so late, they continued them on the 2025 models. So you can get stage 1 on the RT, stage 2 on the Scat Pack. But here they're saying no stage kits. But they're rolling these things with standard 670 horsepower. So Thank goodness they discounted the cars so much for most people. Feel for anybody who paid full price on any of these things early on, thinking they needed to be the early adopters because they believed that they were getting in a car that would no longer have 670 horsepower in subsequent years because the stage kits would not be included. Now it's just going to be standard, which means there's probably no stage 2 badging on the 2026s. The car is just 670 horsepower out of the gate. That means that without the RT being offered, you're going to get the lowest range option. So they're going all in with this thing being a performance machine versus a commuting electric car that people would buy because they want to save the planet. So at this point, your only option, it looks like, is going to be the Stage 2 horsepower without the Stage 2 badging, the Scat Pack, 2-door or 4-door, and you will get the Level 1, Level 2 combo charge card or combo card standard. The Level 2 wall charger is still going to be $600. Charging credits will be discontinued. Well, of course, they're going to drop the price. That makes sense. They're going to take that away, which they will probably find themselves needing to bring it back to get any of these even ordered. And then the exterior stuff. So this is the news behind these things. But then I wanted to share with you just, well, why would this happen? Well, these things have been just the colossal failures that they are. And if you go to the Daytona Owners Forum, owners.com forum, and I would suggest you do that before you engage in any insanity in purchasing one of these things, but there's a lot to be learned just by going here. If you look at general maintenance, there's 2,400 views and 40 comments. And then if you go all the way down, just scrolling over to here, you can look, everything's about 8,000 views. And then you go to electrical system discussions, 43,000 views, 810 comments compared to everything else. Now I could click on this and roast this car, but the fact is that this thing has been a disaster for people. If you go to the forums, you'll find people that are just dealing with massive issues, problem after problem after problem, and it's turning out that it seems that most people, it's not like a random here and there situation, but most people are having problems with their cars, and that raises tremendous concern. There are a lot for sale still out there that are not moving. They only sold 1,947 in first quarter, which means sales-wise, these things are colossal failures, and that would make sense why the RT's probably never going to come back. Is I would guess that based on this information we have, that thing is dead, gone, forever, complete failure. And the reality of it is all the RT was a different programming and different brakes and suspension, but at least you had better range. So when I was considering buying one of these things for self-torture and content on YouTube, the RT seemed better to me because the only reason I would use an EV would be to commute around Southern California, but because I stay in hotels a lot, there's never chargers available, and I don't have time to sit in charging stations forever when I'm out actually working and earning money, that it just still makes no sense. And but there's tons of them out there for sale, and I imagine lots and lots more waiting to come, but dealers are holding out on asking for them to show up. But lots of complaints about these things. Just a heads up, everybody, there is no chance if you're sitting on an RT and these things do end up, like, they completely discontinue them, which it looks like could be happening, that it's going to suddenly become a collector's item. So I wanted to say that to make sure that nobody's head gets twisted up and you believe that you're sitting on some, colossal, worthwhile investment that's going to appreciate. It's not. If anything, it's going to be nothing more than a flower pot someday, and admire it in your driveway. So with that, everybody, let me know your thoughts on this thing appearing to have gone away. RT, nothing left but the Scat Pack and the Outlaw and the GT coming out, the 4-door and the 2-door in the EV and the twin-turbo i6s. So I'd love to know what you think about this. The quickest failure I would say in history, next to, I don't even know if the Yugo failed that fast. I mean, this is pretty bad. So, I mean, even the DeLorean lasted longer. I mean, you look at the things that, for different reasons, that failed, but Edsel, I mean, I don't think anything has been such a flop and such a disaster in such a short period of time. And no, it's not just me being negative. It's being a realist, sharing the facts, and trying to save people from headaches. If you go and lease one of these things, just know that if you do a 24-month lease, you're likely going to get 17, 18 months out of that car at best, and hope for the best. Hope you get that many months. Because if it's worse, you may just end up in a lemon law situation. And I don't wish that upon anybody, because those of you that say in the comments, just do a lemon law, just do the lawsuit, it's no big deal. It could be a year to 2 to even 3 year long brain damaging process, especially fighting with a company like Stellantis, who has demonstrated an extreme lack of care for their customers this last few years. I can't imagine they're going to make it easy on everybody, considering the financial challenges that they're having with their stock and everything else, and no cars that are succeeding. So with that, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.